Kulu, kulu. This is
Spelling C's, eh?
okay. That's regret.
Why do I get these? It's your fault. Because it takes two to tango.
And it that true.
Look.
How the game is, I'm gonna ask a question, and if you feel that it's true, you will raise your truth, and if you feel it's false, you will just raise your false, and then we will want to know why do you guys think that. So the first question is, women are more eager to marry than men. True? True. Yebo baba, kanti nina kwenzakalani kule mshado? Do they like nudge? What do you say that, Khaya?
So for me, I think it's societal construct, right? More so than the actual decision from a young girl or a female, right? Or a young woman. Sorry. I think society-wise, like there's this construct within families, within your social circles, within the communities that we grow up in, that girls are to aspire to marry, right? That is their goal. You are supposed to become a mother. That is your calling, your purpose in life, right? And I mean, there's a certain truth to that, right? But that isn't the entire picture. So I think that societal construct encourages the idea of marriage, that makes young women and young girls think that marriage is the ultimate goal, and it's the ultimate more than boys. Boys is like you can become a businessman, become the CEO, whatever.
Money first.
Yeah, you must have money, go after money,
So
make a good
also,
life.
You know when you get home, Mukiti, whatever's happening,
yes.
they always ask the female.
Of course.
Wait,
Exactly.
it's
After the studies as well. Like,
Yeah.
It says
okay,
no,
you're
a
getting
doctor, we see
older.
you're a doctor, but wait,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Biological
Clock.
clock, please.
Okay. So men are threatened by women who are successful. True or false? True or false? False.
This is personal.
It's personally
Yeah.
like so.
Again, Khaya, we don't see you. Are you saying true? Are you false?
I'm
50-50.
I'm saying true.
Okay.
Yes.
Canelo,
Now I'm saying false.
why is that?
Personally for me, because this is the kind of woman I want. Know what it is you want, know where it is you're going, so that I can support your dreams as well as much as you supporting mine. So I'm not intimidated because I know who I am. I know what my purpose is. I know what I'm here to do. And your success does not deter me from that.
Right.
Yeah, but let me just give you a background. Nina nisaba abosisi abanemali because you can't push them around. You can't, you can't say, hey baby, Arimo, no, she's not begging. I don't know if begging is the right
I
word.
wish I had a girl with money because now I feel like I need 50,000 to do 1, 2, 3, and now I have to go borrow from someone.
And
I have a tender.
yeah,
I currently have a tender.
Yeah.
I need about 40,000.
Yeah.
I wish I had a woman that I'd
Babe,
baby transfer,
Okay.
and then
go.
when I get paid,
Let
I
me
get the
hook
money
you
back.
up again, Kanelo. If there's anybody who wants to sponsor and partner no Kanelo, guys, please.
Very important.
Khaya?
Okay. So the reason why I say true is because I grew up seeing this, right? So it's a personal experience as well. It's not to say that I think that the statement is true or that I fear powerful women, but I grew up under this where I saw my mother. My mom is a very, very powerful woman, right? And men fear her, right?
That's
so
true.
wherever she walks, wherever she steps, regardless of the age, regardless of eligibility, men don't approach her because they view her as a powerful woman. She knows what she wants, she doesn't take nonsense, right? And so I think, again, it goes back to societal stigma, but in a personal sense for me, I don't really fear powerful women, right? Because I think that it's ultimately a partnership. There was this video that I was watching and I think it was Pastor Jakes, Sarita Jakes, right?
My fave.
Yeah, and she was talking about she is not married to her husband because they're cute. She's married to her husband, and I mean she's a powerhouse in her own sense, right? She's married to her husband because they make hell nervous, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is such a powerful statement, that when you look at specific people, specific couples, right, that you can see that the woman is like, this lady's hectic. But you can also see that the guy is also as hectic. He's got his own, right? So I think going back to societal construct is that we've made a powerful, we've said powerful women are to be feared, instead of saying they are perfect matches to men and women. You know what I mean? Like, men and women need to be equally powerful, equally yoked, equal partners, right, in order to coexist. So I think, there's each to his own, a measure to his own.
All right. Single people have more satisfying sex than married couples. For false.
There is no way.
Lies. So Zen.
Indulgence.
You must forget.
This myth is a
You
lie.
must forget.
It's a lie.
You must forget.
It's a lie. Look, there are so many constraints and restrictions and nervousness and things you are scared of
Right.
when you are single.
Right.
You are thinking,
Right.
if this person falls pregnant, what if there's this?
The diseases.
What if you are one?
Yeah, what?
But in marriage, there's such a freedom, because sometimes you're not even scared that God is there and is omnipresent, is watching you. You know, because it says whatever you do, you must do in His freedom if it's in the light. So in marriage, there's such a freedom.
Yeah.
There is such, I'm not scared of anything. You can have a baby tomorrow. You know, there's such
An
freedom.
environment.
They are not damages.
And there's no guilt. There's no guilt. There's no, I have to leave in the morning before. I have to phone an Uber. No, there's none of that. So there's so much freedom that comes with it, more than when you are not single. You're like, I think it's also the commitment thing, man. There's safety in marriage.
Sure.
There's like, just get married and do it and you'll see.
Yes.
I can't explain
Amen.
it. You know.
Khaya?
I agree 100%. I think it's so false, right? There's so much energy, right, that you put out into, because the topic is sex, right? There's so much energy that you put out in order to get it, and you're fighting and you're doing all of these things, you're deleting numbers, there's a potential of people heartbreak and all of these things. But within the context of marriage, it is so, like, for me, I experienced it to be so powerful, right? It's so healing. It is so soothing. There's an environment that can actually, I think it was a pastor on a TikTok clip, right? He said sex was made to be contained in the environment of marriage, because the environment of marriage is the only thing that is powerful enough to contain sex, right? Such a powerful thing, and it, I don't even want to go to the soul tie thing, right? But it's more about, like, the freedom that you experience. Like, there's absolutely, you experience this transparency. You can't even explain it, right?
I can see the excitement in your eyes.
Like this, like, super glue, man.
All right. Rayu got the super glue. Cohabitation before marriage decreases the chance of divorce.
What is it?
If I didn't say it. False.
Yeah.
All right. Khaya, what's your answer? False.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, now I'll explain it from experience as well. My sister was with her boyfriend for 10 years, cohabitating, and he never married her. So that is a false statement. Whether you live together, you don't live together, it doesn't constitute how your marriage is going to turn out.
Yes, sir.
How marriage is going to turn out is if you've made that bed, you're going to lie in it. It's a choice. stick to your choice.
Sure.
Whether you stay together or you don't stay together, now you stay together, you find out as no, you are like, I don't care. I made this choice. I'm sticking to it, and that's what marriage basically is that I've made a choice and I'm going to stick to it, whether you live together or not. It's neither here or there, and because now I've got you living with me, treating me like a married man. Why now must I marry you?
Right. Why should I take the extra
benefits?
Why must I? I'm already getting everything that I should be getting in marriage.
The privileges.
The privilege are already there. So now why must I spend the money, the time, and all of these other things? I will keep delaying it because I'm still benefiting.
Yes.
They said that if you have a girlfriend tender, don't do wife things because ija huwena.
Exactly.
The budget is very limited.
Exactly.
All right, Khaya.
Yeah, man. Like I think that it's false because there's this thing where in the unfortunate circumstance where marriages where you follow the correct protocol, which is you're not living together and then you get married and then you cohabitate and so on. And in the unfortunate event that those marriages fail, people are like, yeah, why didn't you live together before you got married? And it's like, it's not about that, right? There are so many dynamics within marriage, within specific marriages, right? No two marriages are the same, right? So there are specific dynamics within each marriage that dictate the future of that marriage. So I think it's false that when you cohabitate together that it will guarantee a long-lasting marriage, because as Kanelo said, sorry to ride on what he was saying, but I think it's true that you're already experiencing what other married couples are experiencing. Why is there a need for me to cross speaking from a guy's perspective, right?
All right.
I think women would view it differently. Would be like, why are you marrying me? Because I'm giving you everything. Right?
Hey,
but for guys, I marry you because you are giving me
right.
Yeah.
Same question.
Ooh, that's powerful.
You're here. So why does it? What's different, right? Yeah. So I think it's not an indicator. It doesn't.
Sure. Born again Christians are just likely to divorce as people not born again.
Just as likely.
Yeah, true. I mean, here you are on this couch.
Yeah. It rains on the just and the unjust.
Yeah.
Just because we are supposed, because we are born again, we're supposed to maybe using the wisdom of God to navigate. But we are all going to go through the same maze.
Yeah.
Whether you are born again or you're not born again, you're all going to go through the same difficulties. Just like the difficulties of life.
Yes.
We are all going to go through the difficulties of divorce.
Yes.
It's just that we are supposed to have the word to guide us. But to apply it, to know it and to apply it, and to know when it is. I think about wisdom is knowing when to apply the word or how to apply the word. So we all go through the same things. We are supposed to be born again and know how to apply certain principles in order to navigate. But sometimes we don't.
Can I interject though? Wouldn't you say though that's how your journey is being groomed, because although you fall into God's hands, so it's quite different. Like you said, Kanelo, that when you divorced you went back to your ways, but because you know God, you were able to come back to God. So I think I can say
no, definitely, because there was one sermon Bishop Jakes preached, and then he asked his pastors and security to form a wall, and he says it was also like the prodigal son. Every time he tried to go out of the boundary, the word just keeps stopping you. Try and go this way, it stops you. So even if, like, I was a prodigal son, I tried to know this God thing doesn't work, let me go, but still it was like, but I'm not happy there, let me just go back here into the word, into the boundaries, into God, and then here I am now. I'm happy, I'm healed. I don't think I'd be healed if I was still living the way I was after. So I get you, but it rains on the unjust and the just as well. No one is exempt, whether you're born again or not, from the issues of life. No one is exempt.
Khaya, is there anything you want to add?
So I think that it's a tool, right? I think what sometimes, right, as born again Christians, we become very naive and we glaze and we slap the label of I'm a
Sure.
born again Christian, and that by saying that alone
People just make
is
it.
supposed to fix things, right? And biblically, faith without works,
Yeah.
right, is dead. So I think that within the environment of marriage, two people choose to journey into it, right? And so there are similarities in terms of the stages of marriage and the ebbs and the flows and the ups and downs in many marriages. But I think, the being a born again Christian, you should apply, wisdom as well as the word of God, as well as prayer, which are all tools to assist this environment of marriage. Marriage is likened biblically to Christ and his church, right? Where Christ died, Christ being the groom and the church being the bride, where Christ died. And I think as speaking from the male perspective, right, you can learn so much from the journey of Christ with regards to the context of marriage, that it's a resource, and he is the source, that you can draw from and say, here I don't know, here here I'm lost here, but you get that guidance and assistance, and you really, maybe not now, but you will get the answer
As time goes on.
as time goes on.
Thank you.
It might,
In the head.
difficult. Okay, spin the head. Karim. Do you want to go first?
Let's go.
You can go first.
Let me take the thin one.
Here we go.
Yo, you just didn't try hard enough.
There we go.
For me, I have no issues with this. Now I tried. I went
Yeah.
to the pastor.
Yeah.
I went to her parents. I went to her sister.
Yeah.
I even went and got a professional psychologist to try and help us. We did a couple of sessions, and then when I went back and did my session, she was like, "So has anything changed?" I'm like, "No." Oh no, she didn't do the things I asked her. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys spoke about,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
this and I have no issues. Even months and even a year or a couple of years after, I was still trying to be like, "Hey, dude, please, let's reconnect, man. Let's get back together. You're the woman for me." But
Yeah.
this one, nah,
Yeah.
no one can. I'm blameless.
Do what I needed to do. Boom.
Yeah. Spelling C's, eh?
Okay. Regret. Regret. Yeah. Okay. A couple, but I think my biggest one was disappointing myself within the context of marriage. I don't think I did or lived fully my potential as, a husband, to my ex-wife and so on, because I felt that I was restricted and I lived within, the realm of expectation that people had placed on me, whether it be my family, whether it be, close friends, people who are watching me, or rather who are watching the Fenton trailer that comes with who Khaya is and this golden calf, right? Yeah, and I think that regret, I'm still in the process of kind of like forgiving myself and like working through it. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't want to lie to you. You go into specific spaces and you relive the experience because people are asking you, Bani, where's who, where's what's going on? And you kind of like relive that regret and that experience. I should have done this, I should have. But, like as you said, like there's grace, man. That is one of the things that made me realize God's grace, that he is so gracious because each to his own, like every single person's journey is different, and God is gracious enough, to walk with you through that journey. Yeah.
All right.
Why do I get this? It's your fault. Because it takes two to tango.
And it does.
True. Look, it is my fault. It's my fault. Because at the end of the day, we were both in this marriage. I'm still hoping that one day she will tell me what it is that I wasn't doing or was doing or wasn't doing, so that at least I can take something in terms of my character and go somewhere with it. But when someone tells you we are doing nothing wrong, we are good friends, we're not even arguing, but we are like roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I won't say it was all her fault, because obviously there are things that I did. Maybe I don't realize them, I still don't, but there are things that I did or the way I was that led her to the decision of not wanting to be married to me anymore. So yeah, it's short and sweet, and just I ain't gonna point fingers, you know, I was there too.
It takes two.
I was there too, so.
All right.
Okay. Piki, my baby. And this is like it's like a thin one. So I think it's gonna burn.
We're gonna find out now.
What is a healthy relationship?
Yes.
I think a healthy relationship is, for me, it's about pillars. It's about the foundation. It's about founding principles. It's about sharing similar values. So what a healthy relationship practically would look like for me is two people who come together and really communicate about everything. You know what I mean? Like, we were, you know, in premarital counseling, and they were talking about who's going to wash the dishes, who's going to do what. You would be surprised that those things, you know, in the long run, either like irritate you or they become like some sort of discomfort. And if you haven't developed communication, if you don't share similar values, if you don't, at the core of who you guys are, you know, share that space, that communication, that breaking down of things, and understanding each other, you know, having empathy and sympathy, then, you know, it's quite difficult to go forward. But I think, yeah, practically it's communication, it's sharing similar values, you know, core things, such as, you know, what are your beliefs, your traditions, what you guys practice. You know, there are different cultures, but cultures can come together. But I'm talking about now really deeply rooted things. And every second month you have to go, and you know, all of these things. Yeah. So in a practical sense, what is a great relationship for me? It's communication about everything, having difficult communications consistently. Yeah.
All right. Kanelo,
Pick another.
did you too?
I'm hoping for sauce.
Yo, in your packet, in your sweets, King Lucky packets.
You can be young, divorced, and blessed.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Follow your boy on Instagram and see him living a blessed life. No.
No, definitely. And this is where the grace comes in. Do not wear the shame that comes with divorce.
Right.
We were talking about earlier that you go to church and people are like, hey, where's who? You go to the grocery store and they're like, why are you alone? So don't wear the shame. Do not wear the shame of being divorced. It can happen. It has happened to so many people, and some people actually shine because now they live in toxic relationships when they divorce. Even if, like me, I was divorced and didn't want to get divorced. But you need to pick yourself up and move on, you know, because as long as you have breath, as long as you're breathing, as long as your limbs are still working, your mind is still working, it means there's something for you still to do. That's not the end of you. So grace on yourself, know that God has grace on you, even if people may judge you. The one who's greater than people doesn't. So move on, man. Move on. Find something. Spend your energy somewhere. The doors will start to open. God will bring people around you that will hang out with you and be happy with just who you are. So yeah, definitely blessed. I mean, I've got a lot more money now than I used to before. So it's not a money thing, but I'm just saying it's an example.
You can still prosper afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, Khaya, the last question.
Okay, cool.
Akusizi
Okay. Yo. Okay. Yes. This is yes. Divorce comes with a social stigma. I would say yes. Because, we know the statistics, right? So the statistics speak about 50% of all marriages end in divorce, etc., etc. And I think, in a personal sense, you kind of take that so personally. You feel like a failure, right? You feel like now you're part of the statistics. You're being othered, right? So now you're part of the statistics. And for me, overcoming that was quite hard because I've been a statistic all my life. I grew up without a dad, the typical South African whatever, in a single parent home, and that's how the narrative of my life was. But I think God, again, speaking of his grace, his goodness, I'm where I am right now, and it's for me at a place of peace and joy, right? Where they coexist within me, and to say that from that place, being founded in that place, I don't really mind, people's opinions. As I said earlier, there was a golden calf, right, of who Khaya is, and the Fender trailer that came with, whatever brand is Khaya or whatever. And I fought long and hard to represent that, to live up to that. And when I got divorced, it felt like I was failing that, right? Which in actual fact was actually people's expectations. What people were like, yeah, we see you as this. I've heard it so much that we see you as this, we see you as what, we see you. But I never defined for me what I see myself as, right? I never could explore who truly Khaya is and what Khaya wants and all of that. Because you live up to being the good boy and the what, and it's not to say that is bad, but it is to say that when it robs you of your process, it kind of makes you stumble. So I could definitely agree with this, that there is a social stigma around divorce, but you don't, as Kanelo had said, you don't have to be defined by it, because it's not who you are. That's what happened to you, right? But it's not who you are. I'm not a divorcee, full stop. I am Khaya, and whatever Khaya is past, present, future,
Amen.
Yeah.